Thank you for joining us today for the third in a series of webinars from GALE promoting the key elements and areas of consideration that an organization needs to address in order to achieve an effective, efficient and proactive safety management system. In our previous two webinars in this series, we have examined incident reporting and investigation and analysis. We will now turn our attention to the area of audit management and the impact this has on an effective and efficient SMS. So in the context of a safety management system, an effective SMS should be underpinned by the principles of quality and safety assurance. Therefore, an SMS should integrate the areas of a QMS. A major element of a QMS is audit management. In this webinar, we will examine why we audit, the types of audit an organization will face, the benefits of a central repository for all audit information, and the methods that can be utilized to perform an audit. While looking at these areas, we will demonstrate some of the tools available for performing an audit. So why do we audit? Auditing in the aviation industry is a mandatory task to ensure that all organizations associated with flying, maintenance and training are performing to the strict regulations set out by the governing bodies. Audits can be raised to ensure all policies and procedures are working, to verify that processes adhere to standards and regulations, and to maintain a level of competency. Performed regularly, audits contribute to complying with regulatory standards as well as identifying shortfalls and areas of improvement. Audit management provides a closed-loop system for scheduling, planning, conducting and following up of audits in a manner that supports organization-wide improvement. The objectives of audit management are to provide a central repository for all audit management information that allows the demonstration of compliance with minimum overheads and disruption. Manage internal, external and third-party audits across a specific or any number of compliance management systems. Identify potential improvements in systems, processes, equipment, material and people. Manage the complete audit lifecycle from scheduling, planning and conducting to reporting and following up actions through to conclusion, including reporting on positive results. Manage audits offline, providing the import and export of data to record and perform audits remotely. So if we look at some of the types of audit, there are various types that an organization may be subject to. These will include internal audits. So an internal audit can be considered as a catalyst for improving an organization's performance or adherence to processes. The audit will produce recommendations for improvement in certain areas of the business. External audits. An external audit will involve an audit professional who will perform the audit aligned to specific laws, rules, or regulations. The timing and scope of an external audit will comply with the jurisdiction and laws of a country, industry regulations, or both. The outcome of external audit will be an unbiased, independent audit report. Supplier audits. When selecting a supplier, an organization wants to do so with a level of confidence that the chosen supplier is reliable and has the credibility to ensure that selecting them will not damage their business operations. An organization may audit a new supplier before appointing them, or a current supplier to maintain confidence in their ability to continue to supply goods or services, or they may also audit a current supplier as a result of an incident that has occurred that has impacted their ability to deliver to chosen goods or services on time or to the same quality. In aviation, audits are performed against a set of standards and regulations. These include those set out by IOSA, ISAGO, ICAO, EASA, and the FAA. The governing bodies in aviation cover specific countries, regions, and areas of focus. For example, charter airlines, private jets, maintenance or training organizations. An audit management tool can assist in creating a proposed audit plan for coverage, completeness, and availability before finalizing schedules, automatically creating and updating the audit calendar. Past audit reports and historical data and status of all previous audit and CAPA findings are available for review. Audit checklists can be created, exported, and imported to and from external sources, and audit packs can be created as points of reference. A trail of departments visited, people spoken to, and processes checked simplifies the creation of the audit report. Positive findings and opportunities for improvement are included, individual records created for each finding, and the audit report agreed, formalized, and tracked to conclusion through the system. An audit management tool will continually monitor the status of each audit action from when it is raised until closure, and ensures the compliance management system is properly maintained, managed, and that actions are not overlooked. There is also the ability to integrate with email systems to offer point-of-need access to audit records direct from automatic email notifications of upcoming or overdue events or actions. So in the central repository of information, auditing and corrective action tracking can become a time-consuming and expensive activity. With an audit management tool as a central repository of information, the whole process can be managed centrally, improving efficiency and effectiveness. The audit module within QPulse allows for auditing of an entire organization, both internally and externally, effectively communicating and inputting information to achieve oversight and continual improvement. The audit management tool provides a central repository of information, ensuring that the organization is always prepared for the audit and able to stand up to unannounced audits, helping the organization to always be in a state of readiness, and provides information on areas where they are exposed. It also puts the organization in control of the audit lifecycle, providing the necessary information for scheduling, preparing, conducting, reporting, action management, follow-up, and closing. The system will allow the organization to manage any type of audit. Details on non-conformance will be easily viewed, and it provides the opportunity for analysis of audit findings, which aids action management and closeout of the audit. So now we'll look at methods of audit. Audits can be performed in a traditional manner with the use of paper-based checklists, which will be used to prepare the audit report at a later date. However, there are now more effective methods of capturing audit information in real time at the point of need. Offline functionality extends the audit management tool capabilities, enabling auditors to perform key activities when not connected, and records information at source. Checklists and findings can be recorded while on site. A major benefit of this is that it avoids the double keying of information, and evidence is provided in real time. So the typical audit process is, when we look at scheduling, as you start to plan an audit, the management tool will determine the areas or functions that have yet to be addressed through the audit. In addition, the tool or system will also provide an indication on the level of activity in an area since it was last audited. The purpose of this is to flag any potential areas of concerns and to influence the priority as to when a function should be audited. The scheduling function aims to determine and firm up when auditor and auditees are available for the actual audit. Preparation. The preparation phase provides access to previous audit reports, activity on the scope, access to appropriate checklists, documents and procedures, and allows the auditor to fully prepare for the audit. This alone saves time ahead of each audit. Conducting. The conducting phase gathers evidence of what has been audited, and the draft report process makes provision for determining whether findings are majors, minors, recommendations, or indeed evidence of good practice. So if we have a look now at the system example here, what we'll do is open up the audit module within QPulse. And we will then see a full calendar of what is available to us. What we can first do though is schedule an audit using the wizard. So the first process is to choose from the calendar and then choose a title of this audit. So for today's purposes we will choose flight operations. We then have to schedule this audit, so we will use today's date, which is the 27th of August. This is where we can add to the scope of audit, so we can then link to our documents module and then attach any documents that would be relevant to this process as well. At this point we then start to choose the key participants in the audit, so we choose the auditor and also the auditees. So this will obviously notify everybody who is required to participate in this particular audit. We then choose the checklist, which we have already put into the system, so we choose the flight operations part of the IOSA audit. At this point, our audit is scheduled and we are ready to go. So at this point, we have three options. We can carry out the audit in the traditional paper terms and print everything out, which obviously is fairly time consuming, but however it allows us to have everything at hand as well. The next option is to take the audit offline onto your laptop, so you could download the audits onto your laptop here and take the whole thing offline and then perform these when you are on site. You would then upload the completed audit back into QPulse. Or option 3, which is by far the best these days, is to use the iPad. So here is a quick video just to take you through the concept of what we have done with the iPad. So again, we're taking relevant documents which have been downloaded from QPulse, all the checklists that are relevant to the particular audit as well, and we're able to create a very robust audit trail. And obviously instant reporting, and then publishing that back into QPulse and informing everybody that that needs to be informed of what's happened in the audit. The big benefit here is that you don't have to go around in loops looking for documents and checklists and printing things out, for example, and it's a very quick and slick process where you can just have everything on the one device, saving yourself time. So as it says here, it's simply you take everything online, and at the touch of the screen, everything can be done for you very quickly. So we go back to what we were talking about before, which is the plan, do, check, act cycle. So planning the audit, completing the checklist, and then raising any findings. So as mentioned very briefly, there is a very robust audit trail with a number of different types of evidence that you can attach. And as I said, once it's complete, you just send that report back into QPulse, and that's you done. So smart mobile auditing. It's fast, accurate, and efficient. So that concludes that. Now obviously if you had any findings from the audit, this is where they would then be within the QPulse system, and you could raise any actions which would then run through into a different module within QPulse, and you can move on from there. So we then have the summary here. So today we've discussed the different types of audit and why audit is essential for organizations to fully understand their business and identify areas that they need to focus on. GAIL offers solutions to facilitate an audit by streamlining the audit process, and this can be done by taking the audit offline and the ability to complete the audit on a mobile device. As we have seen, there are many options available, and each organization will be aware of what option will best suit their requirements. So, what to do next? Well, I hope that today's insight into audits and actions has prompted you to think and possibly question your own current safety management system practices. If you'd like to know more about how GAIL solutions can help you in your auditing processes, we'd be more than happy to discuss this with you. Any questions and follow-ups can be made by contacting us, either through the GAIL website, which is www.gailquality.com/aviation, or alternatively, you can email us directly at info@gailquality.com. You can also follow what we're doing on the LinkedIn group, Aviation Safety and Quality Info Exchange, or on Twitter, which is @GailFionaM. The next webinar will be on document management and is scheduled for the 24th of September, and we look forward to seeing you all then. Thank you very much for your time today.